Good evening, and welcome to Singapore by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade game set on the normally sunny island of Singapore. But after the sun sets, as we say, Singapore is oh. So this is our Vampire the Masquerade campaign set in Singapore, and with me are our now four wonderful players, starting with right next to me, the man himself, Ramji playing Tariq.
Hello.
On his right, Sheena Chan playing Chantel. Above her, Jotan playing Moon Moon. And welcoming our newest addition to the Coterie, it's Lisa playing Rachel.
Ew.
Welcome. So I think that's a good point. If you just joined us, you've never watched this episode and any of our episodes before, or you're not really familiar with what's going on, I'm just going to give you a quick recap on what's been happening so far. So early on, the Coterie was sent away from Elysium, where they were supposed to be introduced to the prince, and then they decided to go to Changi, where the Anarchs were. They struck a deal with the Anarchs, having discovered that there was going to be a Sabbat assault on Singapore, in the southern parts of Singapore, for the Anarchs to assist them in dealing with the Sabbat assault. During which there were some interesting going-ons, and they got to know some of the Anarchs. But then after which, a week after actually, they discovered one of the Anarchs, one of the Sabbat licks, the newly embraced vampires hiding out in Labrador Park. And that came to a rather sad and unfortunate ending. There were also more, shall we say, interesting and happenings on the other side of the social spectrum, where the Coterie was also introduced to the Ventru Primogen at a party at her house at Iron Orchard, where they discovered that there is a ongoing conflict between the Banu Hakim, who rule Singapore, and three of the other clans, the Ventru, the Toreador, and the Nosferatu, who had formed a faction opposing them. Chantel, who is a Malkavian, has actually sort of chosen sides, as it were. She now lives next door to the Ventru Primogen. She's accepted that in order to escape the clutches of her sire. So more on that later. But as a result of that, Moon Moon, being the humanitarian that she is and the caring person that she is, actually tried to help out the family of the poor Sabbat Lik who was killed by sending money to his widow. As a result, there were some unwanted inquiries in the form of hacking coming from down south. Now, Tariq, who's a tech specialist, has dealt with that, which leads us to where we are today. Because in the previous week, there was an incident at one of the dormitories. I'm glad to report that what happened since was that all of the injured have been brought to medical facilities and are recuperating. In fact, the bodies that were found that were originally thought to be dead were actually found to be alive and have all been resuscitated. So, confirmation from the people who are in charge, specifically Bruce Weng, the Ventru Primogen's partner and lover, has indicated that it appears that there were no mortal casualties. That's the good news. The bad news is that some of them were left with potentially life-changing injuries, but that said, the Ventru Primogen, Dr. Georgina Lee, has assured the rest of you who were involved that she's working on it. So you trust her. She's a very well-known plastic surgeon. Now, since then, we haven't really had the time, because of real life issues, to deal with some of the downtime. But we're going to start with Ramji and Tariq, who now has a special ritual that allows him to get in touch with a very important person. Ramji, over to you.
Okay. So Tariq has been, again, sort of after the last week, very, very busily away. He, unbeknownst to most people, I suspect, but he has a kind of very secret haven that is in the secret part of a bookshop in Braz Bazaar, and that bookshop particularly has a little area that is Tariq's primary area where he does his research, and that little haven is specifically used as a sort of blood magic lab. It's all he does there, and he's been putting it together over the course of a few years. Really not really getting very far, but he's had a couple of breakthroughs. One of which has allowed him to discover a ritual that allows him to speak with his former sire, or his current sire, his sire. The artist formerly known as, regardless. The point is, this ritual, and I was just looking it up as you think you arrived a little bit early. It's 2 seconds.
Get in touch with your sire.
Yeah, the ritual is known as Call the Sire. And I have it right here. Yes, here we go. It is called, not level 5.
Communicates with kindred sire.
And the caster uses a bond between sire and child to open a bridge between minds, allowing the child to create a telepathic link for the purpose of long-distance communication. As with some other rituals, this sees a resurgence in these nights of wiretaps and blah. So I have a few things that Samira did leave me. And they're not just NFT assets. So as a result, they actually are real things that I can soak in blood. It's going to be hard. Maybe Tariq's going to start blood chain. Maybe that's the thing, because in the NFT sense, how do you use your auspex if you're not able to dip things in vitae? So, okay, this is
decentralized
resources 5 plan, sure. Vitae chain. But anyway, we'll come back to the blood coin.
Let's ask the Tremere how blockchain goes when it comes to vampire blood. The Tremere know all about that. I'll tell you a bit more about that, Lisa, later on.
Okay, good.
I basically you sort of cut into the scene. You see that Tariq is poised over a silver bowl within which is a small, actually a hairpin, a little silver hairpin of Samira's. It was actually it's incredibly sharp. And she once told a story of fighting off a guru with it. He doesn't believe it. But nevertheless, it's always possible.
A guru is a werewolf, by the way, folks. And werewolves, let's put the odds of vampires surviving one-on-one fights against werewolves at next to nothing. Yeah, you're probably dead if you're a vampire and you're fighting a werewolf.
He then cuts himself, and a spurt of blood comes from the front of his finger, drips the blood into the bowl, and remembers his last memory of Samira, which was a very pleasant conversation they had, where she kind of literally, it was like the handover of a meeting. It was sort of like, oh, bro, thanks very much. Here you go. Here's my handover. Right, I'm off now. See you later. Right, and so he sort of remembers that and kind of is sort of that was very effective. But he will.
I'll give you for this one, because it was during the week. I'll give it to you with a normal success. Okay.
So the thing with it is, in general, it seems to be as long as you succeed on the ritual roll,
you get 10 minutes of communication with her.
And otherwise, a critical allows you to succeed immediately. Otherwise, it's like, I'm sorry, this line is terrible. So thank you, I appreciate that. And so he says, this is Tariq, son of Fatima. I wish to speak with Samira, my sire.
All right. You make connection with her. What do you ask?
Tariq will ask the following 3 questions. The first is, she answers, right? It's not like it's not like augury. So she said,
no, it's telepathy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's saying
you hear the okay. So she basically says hello, Tariq, and what do you? What do you need? Straight to business.
Yeah, Samira, I looked through the handover notes again, and I have been paying close attention since your move, and I have been unable to ascertain exactly where in these notes I should look because, and maybe it's somewhere else, and it's entirely my fault perhaps, but I seem to have found myself in a nest of vipers, and I uniquely unqualified for all of these pleasant words that are accompanied by daggers. I am more of a dagger accompanied by unpleasant words. So I am a little puzzled. How did you survive here? And what buttons do I press to make them stop talking to me?
She answers cryptically. She says, Tariq, you need to hold your friends close and your enemies closer. But
I would happily hold one of my enemies quite close, but I do not. They seem to have. They seem to know what I'm going to do before I do it, and it also seems that the warriors of our clan, the sheriff, potentially even the prince, are. They are not in a position of ascendancy here.
So, after this, she spends the next 10 minutes giving you a primer on Singapore's court. Cool. This is what you learn, Tariq. First, that the previous prince was Ventru, Lord Rizal. He had been beckoned and had left. At the same time as he had left with the elders of the court, there was a Sabbat assault from across the causeway. Okay, that was foiled when the remainder of the Camarilla court in Singapore asked for help from the Malaysian Ashira. Right, so the Banu Hakim, the deal was made for the Banu Hakim to take charge. They defeated the Sabbat, who retreated south away from Malaysia and Singapore. As part of that deal, the Banu Hakim were put in charge. But there are three clans that were particularly left unhappy about this because their political power in Singapore were greatly diminished. You know who they are already: the Toreador, the Ventru, and the Nosferatu. But you also know this: the Tremere are considered allies of the Banu Hakim. The La Sombra cannot be trusted. They came with the Banu Hakim, and they continue to serve their own purposes. Okay, and Samira also informs you that the Anarchs, she knows them to be honorable but dangerous insofar as they will politically compromise you. As for what you said about being terrible at politics, she encourages you, Tariq, to do what you do best and stay out of what you don't know.
Okay. And in the course of that, I will ask her about Al and the Vietnamese chap. I can't keep his name.
Floyd.
Floyd, thank you.
She doesn't know about Floyd. She doesn't know anything about him. But she knows about Al. She says Al is the last remaining elder in Singapore. Nobody knows why he has not been beckoned. And previous to this, he was not part of Camarilla, he was autarchist. And everyone left him the hell alone. Autarchist, for those of you who aren't familiar, is a term used for somebody who doesn't belong to any of the factions, not Anarch, not Sabbat, not Camarilla. He's a truly independent vampire. She says he's old, he's dangerous, and he's powerful, and nobody messes with him. And he's widely known to be the only elder left on the island.
And does he engage in, I can't remember the term for it, there's a term in Vampire Society about passing favors backwards and forwards?
Trading boons? I don't know.
No, there's a broader term, I can't remember what it is. But anyway, it's that whole system of boons and everything else like this that the Camarilla use. Does he abide by this?
Yes, now that he's part of the Camarilla, which is why he was put in charge of tracking the boons in the country. because despite his aversion to being part of the political system earlier on, he is damn good at politics.
Is anyone trustworthy?
Samira tells you that you can trust Twa, you can trust Jabat. She would not ever trust Puan Bulam. And she says this honestly. And she says, perhaps you can trust your coterie as well, but that's for you to decide.
Time will tell. Do you need anything, sir?
If you do not hear from me when you contact me this way, destroy all evidence of my having ever existed.
There is no evidence other than this. My mask has not failed us yet.
That is to say, Tariq, go kill yourself.
Oh.
Because they'll be coming for you next.
I am already dead, sir.
You have to erase yourself again. If I disappear, you must erase yourself again.
I see. So I have to.
They will come for you.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood. I will make preparations.
So you get the sense that wherever the hell she is and whatever the hell she's doing, she's not going to tell you, but it seems that she's not very comfortable where she is.
Understood. I will continue doing this, and Tariq will just, like, over the course of this sort of conversation, I imagine there will be mutual points and where normal people would make inquiries as to how you are and how the kids and what's been going on. Oh, you must be in school by now. None
this
of
is
that.
Why she sired you. She doesn't do small talk either.
It's all business, right?
It's all business.
This is one thing which is I'm crafting a weapon with a man in Gelang who is an uncle.
Yes, Uncle Hamid. Yes, Tariq.
That is the correct thing. I do not know about, as a vizier, I feel I should have a weapon, but I also, my books and my knowledge and my money are my weapons. Are also, hitting things in the face.
Tariq, have access to the full arsenal. Deny yourself nothing.
Understood.
Okay, so I'm going to move on over to Chantel. Sheena, what's Chantel's been up? I'm going to give you a bit more insight into what's been happening. So you've discovered two things during the week. They've transferred all of the injured workers over to a medical facility that's run by one of Bruce's shell companies. And Dr. Georgina has been attending to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
At night. It's 7:15 p.m.
That's right.
So, Ed, just one last thing. I would also have asked her about Bruce.
Oh. She laughs at you and she says, you should know better than you don't even need to ask me about that. Isn't it obvious?
Yes. Okay.
Good. Okay. Back to you, Chantel. So you know that. So you know where they've been moved. It's you don't know the location of it, but they're being taken care of under Bruce's company, and Georgina has been spending a lot of time working with them. If you ask her, I'm going to assume you might have made small talk with her about it.
Yeah, I am making an effort to actually befriend Bruce and Georgina, and then just to see how I can help out. I keep trying to offer my services as a whatever I can do.
you detect that they're very expertly keeping you at arm's length.
Yeah, and that's fine. So it's like with the workers, I'm like, is there anything I can do to help? Just to talk to them or figure out what they've found out, for example.
So the conclusion is, don't worry, just leave it to us. You just enjoy yourself. Let's worry about this. Okay. There's a suspicion also that they're walling you off from it, but very politely.
Okay. That's fine. If that's the case, then I am going to try to go. I don't know what I want to do, honestly.
It's okay. Sure. You can have a think about it. I'm going to go on to Moon first, and I'll check back with you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I will let the rest know of what happened to the workers.
Cool. So, Moon, you've also received that news that actually there were no casualties. To your surprise, you thought that Many of them were saying they're not, and that they're being taken care of. Oh, one more thing that you heard, Chantel, is that Bruce had overheard how angry Moon Moon was, and he tells you that he's made sure that the food issue has been resolved and the cleanliness issues have also been resolved. It will not be a problem again.
Mm.
He said that with some finality.
Yeah, I messaged this to Moon Moon because I know it bothered her a lot.
Hey, Moon Moon.
Moon replies to Chantel. Moon replies to Chantel. Chantel, where are the workers now? Voice is a voice message despite all Tariq's advice. Chantel, where are they?
You get a voice message back and like the first 15 seconds is silence and then they are being taken care of. Do I know the specific location?
No, they've refused to tell you. They did tell you it is owned by one of Bruce's companies and they are personally being taken care of by Dr. Georgina.
Georgina's taking care of them. I don't know where.
Okay. Thank you. Mwah. Then I hang up. Then I think I'm gonna wait. Basically the whole week I'm gonna wait to see whether Bruce messages me because I asked him to get in touch with me. I'll be like 7:15. Oh, check my phone. Like stream. Check my phone. Like selling clothes. Check my phone. Does he message me?
By Tuesday, you're starting to wonder if he's forgotten. Maybe you should send him a reminder.
I don't have his contact.
Chantel does.
Chantel.
Yeah.
Don't you have Bruce's number? I want to ask him some question.
Chantel, you know that to get in touch with Bruce, you speak to one of the ghouls, one of Georgina's schools.
Right. I messaged back.
Fast forward the 15 seconds.
Message back. So I don't have his number directly either, right? In that case.
You have a number of Georgina's. You know that you can get in touch with Georgina.
Can. So I'll let her know that I don't have his number either, but I can ask him to contact you.
Okay, thank you. Mwah.
Yeah, then I'll message the ghoul like, hello, my friend wants to speak with Bruce. Can you ask him to call Moon? Thank you. And then there's like emojis inside.
Chantel, don't forget to give them my number, Chantel.
I am quite alarmed. Do you just want to let them have your number?
But then how? Otherwise how? Gonna play broken telephone.
That's true. Now that I give the ghoul Moon's number as well.
Tariq is like, but Tariq doesn't know any of this is happening.
But I don't give the one that we share. I give the other number that you have.
Okay, yeah, I have a burner phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moon, on Wednesday night, which is yesterday, you got a call from Bruce's secretary.
Oh, what time does she call?
She identifies herself as Bruce's secretary. She's calling at about 9:30 p.m.
It's middle of my stream. I'm like, sorry, hang on, media. I got a very important call today. But if you want to buy any products, just leave a message here. I passed like, hello.
So hi, I'm Jennifer. I work for Mr. Weng, and we were told that you want to get in touch with him. Unfortunately, Mr. Weng is very busy. So could I take a message for him?
Yes. It's what I briefly told him about. So basically, there's a person of interest. Or rather, somebody of our kind of people that's of interest to him, and I suspect I may know how to locate him in Indonesia. So I would say this person reek of suspicion. He reek of suspicion. So I would say please get back to me. Thanks.
Okay. You get a message on your on the same phone later that night that says, Bruce here. Tell me who this is you're looking for.
Hello, this is
it's a message. It's just a text message.
I reply, this is Moon.
Oh, you sent a voice message back.
Hi, this is Moon.
You get text again. Yes. How may I be of assistance?
Okay, please, I don't know how they say, I don't know, this message will not self-destruct, okay? So, but I just want to tell you, basically, we have reason to believe that, that some of the people who attacked, the basically Labrador Park and a lot of places 2 weeks ago, right? So we have reason to believe we came into contact with one of their sources, one of them, and they told us that Rico was responsible. So I tried to get in touch with some people that I thought might be connected to the issue, and since then my phone has been being hacked by this number in Indonesia. So I think maybe Rico is behind the hacking also. So unfortunately, Tariq cannot help me with this. So I thought I come and contact you because you're with one of the biggest security agencies. So yeah, I thought maybe you can help me. Thank you.
You get a text that says, I will send someone to you before the weekend.
Oh, but how did you know where okay.
I will arrange with you a pickup point.
Okay, thanks. Hey, but by the way, I just asking for friends. You and Dr. Georgina are in a beautiful relationship, yes? Because you're such a beautiful couple.
Yes. Is the reply, single word.
Okay, congratulations. Okay.
Okay, so Moment, do take a note that this will happen during your next downtime after the session.
Then I go back to the stream.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So Moment, just note that you have a pending pickup for a meeting. So he's told you that he's going to ask for your location and he's going to pick you up and bring you to a meeting with him.
Okay.
Okay, so that's part of your downtime for next week.
Okay.
Okay. It will probably be Friday. Okay. Which brings us to Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to Singapore Why Night. And,
hello. Thank you.
And Lisa's created a very, very interesting character. So, Lisa, tell us about her.
Okay, so I'm playing Rachel, who was a social worker before she was embraced. So she's generally quite a loving and nurturing person. To the children who are under her care, she's more like a tete kind of type rather than like the older adulty auntie type. So I think that's why she has a generally quite a good relationship with them. They find her very approachable, easy to talk to, easy to bond with. Personally, she likes to camp out at beaches and forests at night to recharge. Yeah, that's generally for her usual life. So something that she's very concerned about are the children under her care. So she does get quite attached and she worries a lot. Like when the children who were previously abused or mistreated in any way, when they go back to the homes, after therapy and counseling and all that, she's very concerned at the previous kind of mistreatment happening again. So she does get quite extremely quietly angry if she sees this happen again. And she felt like what she was doing according to the system was not enough to protect them. So one day, she, after finding out that a case she had handled failed in that way, where the child was again hurt, she had a breakdown in the office, and her colleague, Mike, who she has a good friendly relationship with, they work very well together as colleagues, and they are also pretty good friends. I mean, yeah, they're good friends. She had a big breakdown about this issue where she felt that the system was not really as effective as she liked. And that's when he embraced her. So initially, she was quite shocked by the change, but then eventually welcomed her new powers that she is dedicated to using to help these children.
Lisa, very quickly, I'm just going to interrupt you to ask you to tell us about Mike.
Okay.
Who is Mike? What is he like?
Okay, so Mike is her colleague. They met in the office. He is quite calm and gentle, very understanding of her pretty big emotions towards these things that she cares for, basically her children. He understands very much the line of work because he's in the same line of work. He's actually still working as a social worker, no, sorry, he's not. because of the whole nighttime thing. Yeah. So
The whole vampire thing.
yeah, the whole vampire thing. Yeah. So while they were working as social workers, they illegally downloaded a lot of these files of these children. So that's what they use to kind of check. Like that's where they get the information on checking on these kids and seeing whether they are still being treated.
So to help you out, Lisa,
Yes, please.
Mike actually was someone that you met along the way that you found a bit mysterious because you worked with your organization, but not in a formal role. But the rest of your teammates often asked him for help, and he was often able to provide you with information under the table, as it were, that would help you with your work. Okay. So he was your colleague in that sense, a co-worker, but not formally. And you always found it a bit weird that you could only get in touch with him either electronically or he will meet you only after work in the evenings when you met him. And you have a good feeling about him. He seems like a really nice person. Okay. So here's something you know about Mike. For Rachel to be embraced by him means that Mike exchanged something very valuable. He exchanged a major boon to the prince in order to have permission to embrace you and turn you into a vampire. Which means that you were worth a major boon. Okay, you're worth a lot to your sire. When you discovered that came as a bit of, wow. Okay. But let's rewind a bit from there. Okay, knowing this now, having a bit more context. When he embraced you, where did it happen? And what happened in the aftermath of that? Because it can be quite a traumatic, even violent process.
Okay. So I think it happened at the beach. So Rachel likes to go to the beach and kind of camp out for a bit of space. And one day Mike joined her, and then that's when they got to talking, and then she kind of broke down regarding the case that she felt she had failed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when Mike made you an offer, he said, I can give you the power to really help them, but your life will be changed forever. How did you answer him?
Very enthusiastically, like yes, because I think she was like already at her wit's end. Like she felt like she's been doing this for a long time, and she can still fail in this way, and that feels very big to her. So she just at that point, it was like I'd do anything.
Okay. I might ask you one more time. This is an irrevocable change. Your life, as you know it, will be different forever, but you will have power. Do you really want this? And you said yes. So what he did was, you were on Sentosa, and he brought you, that Sentosa's beaches, some of them have islands. Yeah. So he took you on a boat out to the island, and he said, do you trust me? And you said yes. You agreed to it. Okay. He brought you out on the boat to the island, and that's where he embraced you. First, he drank from you and drained you fully of blood. Okay, and as a human, when you are fed on by a vampire, it is an ecstatic experience. Okay, it's euphoric. Okay, humans usually enjoy being fed on, and that's something you've learned as well as a vampire. Okay, and then instead of leaving you to die, he fed you his blood at the end of it. And when you came to a very violent process, because something changed, the beast was implanted in you and awakened in you. Okay. And from there, he brought you back to his haven, which you discovered was the basement of one of the buildings in Biopolis. Okay, so Ramji, could I trouble you to switch the view to the picture that's behind me right now? This is where he brought you, Biopolis. And deep inside a secret basement, you weren't aware of it at the time.
She's a science experiment. Awesome.
You were brought deep into one of the basements, and this is where you met his sire, who also lives in the same haven, Professor Ronnie Susanto, one of Singapore's leading genomic scientists. He's renowned for his work on blood therapy and bloodborne diseases. Okay.
Cool.
So you here at Biopolis, you spend a lot of time there recovering, learning how to come back to your senses, and they brought people for you to feed on. Okay, and that first week passed in a blur. You're just like, what happened? But when you came back to yourself and you learned to control the beast, they taught you how to feed after that, how to use your powers. Okay, you've been a vampire for over a month now. You're still very young, but you've learned especially that dominate is a very powerful tool. You can control people, you can make them forget they ever seen you, you can make them do things. And that's how you feed. You sneak up into people's houses while they're sleeping because you're feeding like Sandman. You ask them to open the door for you, and they let you in, and you feed on them, and you make them forget. That's all you have to say. It is as Mike taught you. Just say to them, forget. And they forget everything. And next thing you tell them is lock the door as you exit. And they don't remember a thing. Okay? So this is how you feed on people, Rachel. You feed on them by asking them to open the door for you and telling them to forget and lock the door after. Okay? This is very different from how, for example, Tariq does it because he goes in completely unnoticed. His feeding style is Sandman also. So keep that in mind, Rachel. You have become a bit of a monster, and that part of you, I don't know how you reconcile that. Okay, because you drink blood from people now to survive. You cannot eat food. When you eat food, you try eating your favorite food, and you've had to vomit it out. But you found that, and Mike has taught you, that if you use the power of your blood, you can actually keep it down and not have to vomit it out. But that makes you hungry, and then you have to drink more. Okay, I'll leave you, Lisa, to decide how Rachel feels about having to drink blood and live on blood to survive. But tonight, what's happened is that Rachel is at Mike's workstation in the lab. You know that he works with Professor Susanto, who is the Tremere Primogen. You've been introduced to the prince, and you've seen about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Oh no, you didn't get to see them. Okay, you know that you'll be introduced to the prince at the next Elysium. You haven't met the prince yet, but tonight Professor Susanto has a task for you. Okay, he says, "I need you to bring this." He takes out a vial of blood to this lady called Chantel. She lives in the Orchard Residences. Okay, then you need to get her to bring this to Mr. Bruce Weng, because this will be important. And I also want you to find out for me, Rachel. Yeah, and Mike is also there, and he's nodding his head. I need you, this is very important. I need you to find out for me everything you can from this particular other vampire called Moon Moon, what she knows about the Sabbat in Indonesia. Can you do that for me?
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm going to fast forward to a very interesting scene. You've gotten the address on your phone. Okay. And Chantel, when you answer the door, the person standing there is Rachel. Lisa, please describe what Rachel looks like.
She looks quite regular, quite forgettable, but sweet. She has short hair with like a side fringe, almost like a slightly overgrown, almost like secondary school-ish, very mild, very unassuming, dressed in a simple dark blue dress and Converse shoes.
How old does Rachel look?
She is actually 32, but maybe I would say she looks like 28 or 25, 28.
Okay, cool. I open the door, and you see about 24-year-old Chinese girl standing there. She is beautiful, and she is very spacey. Like, she doesn't exactly make eye contact. She looks like her eyes are very dreamy, and you don't know what exactly she's looking at. And she kind of stares into the mid space for quite a while. Hello.
Hi.
Oh
Hello.
my god.
Hi, I'm Rachel. Hi, I'm here.
Rachel. Did I get any message about Rachel coming?
No, you didn't actually. It's a bit surprised. You're like, who the hell is this?
Are you here to... Why are you here?
I'm sorry, are you Chantel?
Yes.
I have something for you. I take out the vial
Oh,
and
come in,
yeah.
come in.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Did she just like open
Oh, sorry.
blood in? Oh my.
Am I with the mic? Or am I alone?
No, you're alone.
Wow, they really.
Good usher in, close the door. Then I turn around, I stare at her again, and the silence for a while. I'm like,
Wow, this place is really nice.
yes, it's not really mine.
Oh, I don't know anyone who lives in Orchard.
I didn't until last week.
Oh. Anyway, I need to pass you this thing. I think it's blood.
Oh my god. It's like two small girls talking to each other.
I take the vial from her, I stare at it, I'm like, why did you come to give me blood randomly?
I was told to give it to you.
Who?
Sorry, can I just check back? Was I
Okay.
told to, like,
Yes.
is it
So
okay if I say who?
Yeah, so you were told by your primogen, okay, that it's okay to say that he's the one that told you to do this.
Okay.
Okay, and remember, at any time, okay, Mike has told you, if you need help, just give me a call. I'll help you with anything you don't know, or if you need me to speak to someone, I'll do it for you. Okay? Or
Okay.
if you're in trouble, give me a call and I'll come down.
Okay. Also, can I just check back? I was supposed to give Chantel the
Two
thing
things.
and what was the second thing
Give
for
Chantal
Chantel?
give Chantal the thing, say that
And then-
it's for Bruce Weng. Second thing,
It's Moon Moon.
ask
Oh, no.
Chantal to get you in touch with Moon Moon, because
Okay.
you need to ask Moon Moon what she knows about the
The Sabbat
in Indonesia.
in Indonesia.
Okay.
Or you could just be like, actually I come here, but I forgot why I'm here.
She's so stressed from work. Like.
Okay, sure. Okay, your 7:15 p.m. counseling. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm choosing to call Mike because yeah.
And Mike, so literally Rachel is like, and then it calls, and then Mike is like, yes, Rachel.
And I just passed the phone to Chantel.
Oh my god.
My friend will explain for me.
Hello?
Hi, this is Mike Wong.
This is Chantel.
Yes, I'm actually from the Tremere. I work for Professor Ronnie Susanto. He's the Tremere primogen. Rachel is my child. She's quite new. She's only due to be presented to the prince next month.
I see.
So we're sending her out, just to do a bit of, get her to know people. So we know that you're quite new, and Professor Susanto needs this vial of blood. Has she handed you a vial of blood?
Yes.
Okay, that needs
It was very sudden.
Yes. Okay. So sorry about that.
It's okay.
We need to get that to Mr. Wing for analysis.
Okay, I
Okay,
can.
maybe Dr. Georgina even, we're not sure. Because that one, we actually found that this is after we processed it from that thing that you all fought last week.
Oh.
Okay. Then the other thing is, can we also trouble you to get Rachel to speak to Moon Moon? We believe that she's part of your coterie because we want some information about the it's not convenient, I know, to mention that name over electronic communications, so
That's
that'd be very
okay.
useful. So if you don't mind, can we trouble you to just take care of her for tonight?
No problem. Mike, we have some questions as well. And I think you or your friends might be able to answer them. Is it okay if you all meet us here at my place?
It's not so convenient at the moment, but
Okay.
if you need to see us later in the evening, around anytime after midnight, Rachel can bring you to us.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
Is it okay if I ask her to meet my other friend as well, Tariq?
Oh yeah, Tariq. Yes, he's the Banu Hakim, right? Yes, please. He's part of your coterie, so of course it's fine. Just if there's any trouble, I apologize in advance.
No trouble at all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh my god.
I pass the phone back to Rachel.
Thank you.
To meet
Ah,
new
Oh my
people,
god.
please have a seat.
Thank you.
And then I text the coterie. The first thing that appears on your screen is this emoticon of a person going. And then the next thing that appears is meet new friend, my place now.
Aw.
Okay. So I've always been like super. I don't think I've gotten to see your place yet, so I'm actually super excited.
Yeah,
Like,
then Sheena can tell you about her furnishings because she's chosen it.
okay.
So Sheena,
is what
sorry?
new friend? Question mark.
Okay, very quickly, I'm just going to let Sheena know that you've been given, Chantel was given a $250,000 budget to furnish. Like, she was given a credit card.
Wow. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, and they said, oh, you got $250,000 on it. So Bruce gave you a credit card. The other thing, Lisa,
My
just a
lucky.
note for you, Lisa, with
Fucking
regards to how
Nouveau
you play
Riche, man.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
Okay, so Lisa, just a note for you with regards to how you play Rachel. You were embraced at 28.
No, it's okay. Some social workers, I totally see it. Like they really,
Yeah.
like, how are you feeling? Okay. Maybe it's really like that one.
Okay, so if you want to play her slightly more mature, that's fine too. You want to play her younger, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Also. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't mean for her to be young.
No, it's funny. It's
Just
okay.
like
Do
those
whatever you
people
want.
that sound young but are not young.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally
Okay.
feel you.
So over to you, Tariq.
You asked who is new
Yeah,
friend,
just like who is that? Question mark.
I'm like, I leave a voice message. Only one way to fire up.
There's no voice messaging on the secure phone.
Oh, is it? I sent it to you on the burner phone.
No, you don't. You don't have a number to send.
Okay. Then the case.
How secure is our secure line? Like,
Secure,
are we
secure.
able to? Okay.
Okay, in that
I'll tell
case.
you, baby Tremere.
Okay.
Okay.
You get there's about 5 minutes or so that passes, at least subjectively for Chantal. It's hard to tell, I imagine, for Chantal. She spaces in and out. At which point you just get back a message that says, and you get 2 gifts. Like one is the baby shark gif, right? And the other one is like a really quite grotesque one of just something covered in blood. And it's just like, ha, question mark.
You get that emoticon. There's like an anime character with a confused face and like question marks across it. Like,
No, which emoticon you're talking about?
And by this time, Tariq, Moon has you see that Moon has been typing for a long time, and she sends you exactly the message that you see in the Twitch chat.
I feel like I'm back in secondary school. Like MSN was a thing.
Okay.
in
So
the
Tariq just looks
apartment,
back and says, I tried. I will be there in 8 minutes.
Chantal starts off for the kitchen, then pauses in midway, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can't eat or drink anymore.
Oh.
And turns back to Rachel. I think we're gonna have to sit down and just stare at each other for a bit.
Okay.
Or we can talk, but you will have to repeat a lot later when the others come anyway. I can tell you some things about myself if you want, so
Oh, yes, please.
okay, I know this sounds very narcissistic.
No. I like knowing and learning about other people.
Okay, because the others already know about me, but they don't know about you. So I don't want you to repeat yourself.
Oh, that's very considerate. Thank you.
What do you want to know?
Just tell me about yourself.
Yes. I used to be a prostitute.
Okay.
I still sort of am. But now it's more like I suck them in a different way.
Oh, I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Rachel, Mike has told you about this. Some vampires feed through sex. Mike has
Oh.
educated you as part of your education. He has told you, look, so vampires feed differently. Everybody has a different style. So this is your style. You get people open the door for you, and then you feed on them. So some vampires feed through sex, and that's a thing.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
back into the scene.
Sure. Maybe
We can fast forward. We can fast forward to
Yes,
Moon
please.
and Tariq arriving.
So I
I tell
arrived
you a
first.
little bit about Chantal's background and stuff lah until the others
Okay.
arrive.
So I go, hello, can I come in? Hi, open the door. Hi, can I come in?
Chantal
Hi.
opens the door and again you get the what is she looking at kind of thing. You kind of like, is there anyone behind me? No, don't have.
Okay, so Chantal,
Yes.
can I come in?
Yes.
Okay, you must say yes, Momo, you can come in because this is my floor. Like if you don't invite me, I cannot come in.
Oh. You may come
Would-
in,
would-
Moon.
Would Tariq have been there by now?
Tariq, you're standing beside Moon. She doesn't
Okay,
know.
I'll be
you.
obfuscated, right? So
Yeah, you're just standing beside Moon. Yeah.
Do I
I'm being
see
obfuscated, so
Tariq?
you can't. You might be able to, Chantal.
Yeah.
Roll a dice.
I'm not gonna make you all make rouse
have
checks.
to
By the way.
roll
You're all
just-
at hunger one.
Yeah. It's a
Because-
what do you call it?
He's invisible. He's invisible.
Oh, right.
Plus.
But I
This
thought
is what they
Chantal
do
can
every
see
session.
invisible things.
Yes, but it's an opposed check, meaning
Yeah.
that like I get to roll and she gets to roll.
Oh, I only got 4
Ah.
today.
They do this every session, by the way.
Okay.
It's quite good fun. It's a little game.
Yeah.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I can't see you tonight.
You do know that the car is driving itself on your way here, right?
No, I drove. I parked. I was going to say
Okay.
incidentals. I actually parked a good way up Orchard, probably close to Somerset, then walked down.
Okay. I drove my Kia Picanto. Yeah. Okay.
Moon comes in, I start to close the door.
But as you see me, right? But just to let you know, but when you
No,
guys,
I will fuck off. I will, you bollocks.
Sorry, Moon.
but as you guys see me, right? I am dressed as Guile from Street Fighter.
I open the door, I look at everything else, and I suddenly focus with alarming clarity on Moon.
Yeah, you see, cause like next Halloween is coming, so like this costume company endorses, so we're trying out a different costume. So I have to wear this next week. So I have a Halloween event. I might be a bit late, so I will jump on. I will come and visit you. I'll be late lah. So next week, whatever you're doing, anyway, don't. Okay, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Come, let's go.
Your hand slowly reaches out towards your hair, your wig.
It's a sponge. It's made of sponge because it's very hard to make it so high. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I don't know. What do you think? How many star review should I give?
It's not bad.
Okay, thanks. But I remember I used to play Street Fighter last time. I don't even remember what his signature move is. What is it? Is it attack? No, that one is. I can't remember. Anyway, come. Okay, let's. Oh, hi! You must be the new friend.
I'm the new friend.
Wow! Wow, your voice is very high. Oh my!
Yeah, yours also.
Then suddenly, as I look at Rachel, I stop. I'm like, "No, your name is Rachel, is it?"
Yeah. How you know my name?
So Moon has met Rachel before.
Oh.
Because Moon used to be in a gang.
Oh.
And she would have aged out of it by the time anybody was going to you. But she has a xiaomei, she has a younger sister in the gang that we have seen you before. She would have brought the younger sister there. Hey, you work as a social worker?
Yeah, I used to.
Oh,
How you know?
do you remember Tina?
Yes, I remember everyone.
Yeah, so I think you were helping out with Tina at Gracehaven, yeah? She always say very good things about you.
Oh,
Yeah, I
thank
just want to
you.
tell you that it's not your fault lah. What happened to her? Okay. Yeah, I'm glad that you joined us today. I hope that we will be able to help you the same way that you helped Tina. In fact, I seem to remember the last time I saw her, she wanted to when she left the messages to everybody. I don't know whether it reached you because I think maybe by the time you already disappear, but she just wanted to say, of all the people she wanted to say thank you to, you were one of them. She said you helped her very much. Yeah. So
Rachel, you remember the case of Tina very clearly. And I'll ask Joe, what happened to Tina?
Tina was involved in the gang. She had to push drugs. She was told not to use them, but of course, sometimes, I mean, like, we're all from complicated backgrounds. I think Tina more than most. She started using. We all try and talk her out of it. Eventually, she started doing things that we were kind of like beyond her control. She started betraying the gang so she could get more money to use the drugs. So she took some of the stuff that we were supposed to be pushing. And she got into a lot of trouble. She was kicked out of the gang. She was kind of like beaten up. But she still couldn't stop. And I think she went to Gracehaven because she was very young. She was trying to turn over a new leaf. But basically, Rachel, you might remember this class. So some of the social workers, they would ask her, things like, have you been smoking? So basically, she had a new addiction. Have you been smoking in the hostel? And she would say, she cried. She'd say, no, I haven't been smoking. No, how could you lie to me? And then one day, the principal actually took you to say, like, because you defended her, and the principal said, okay, you don't know how this is done. I show you. I'll tell you how this is done. Confronted Tina, said, you told Miss Rachel that you weren't smoking, right? Okay. So if you're going to, if we found smoke in the room, so if you weren't smoking, then it must be your 大姐 lah, because basically they form the bonds in the room also. Must be your 大姐, so we're going to haul your 大姐 in, and then we're going to make sure that she's punished, and we'll tell her it's because you said you weren't smoking. And Tina she realized she'd been lying to you all along, because even though she was crying and everything, she said, I didn't, how could you betray me like this? I thought I could believe in you. I thought you trusted me. She turned over her pockets and you found basically the smoke, the cigarettes, the marijuana, and some traces of heroin as well. And I think, yeah, at her last, eventually she did commit suicide, but she felt bad that she lied to you and she manipulated you. But she did that to everybody in her later days.
Okay, so the 大姐 was...
大姐 was not me. It was somebody else in the hostel. But I was her 大姐 in the gang lah, basically, before I got out of it as well.
Was she like your biological sister or like gang sister?
No, like just my sister in the gang. Yeah.
Okay.
So did I just tell you lah? So just want to tell you lah. I think you really made a difference.
Thank you. Can I run to the bathroom? Do I know where the bathroom is?
Yeah, we would have established that. Actually, no, we don't need to use it.
Oh,
So your house got no bathroom?
Just one.
Got. But it's more like we don't
It's for the
biologically
guests.
need it. So it's more like, it's... and she like thinks
It's outside your haven. Oh yeah, the rest, by the way, I should tell. This is the first time that Mumun and Tariq will be here also. They don't know how to get into your haven.
Okay. I'll let them know.
It's a hidden entrance, and you are very certain that Georgina's haven is accessed differently from yours.
Yeah.
You have a specific method.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll teach them how to get here, because I don't really consider this place my haven.
Okay.
And I trust my Coterie.
So Rachel is running to your bathroom.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just slammed the door really hard. unintentionally, but just like in my
As she
haste.
slams the door, Tariq appears and just goes,
Who are you?
whoa. What is all that confusion about?
No, I know
Going to
her.
all chirp like squirrels for hours.
Okay, never mind. I just talk in my lower voice. Okay, I know her. But she introduced herself to Shantiao first. So Shantiao, like, who is she? Like, I know who she was last time, but what is she doing here?
Oh yeah, I need to give the blood. Wait, I'll be back
Tariq is watching the
shortly.
door handle very closely on the door she's gone into.
We're supposed to make friends with her. She is a Tremere.
Oh,
You
okay.
can ask her questions, I suppose. Yes. And then she takes out her phone and starts texting. I'm texting one Bruce's ghoul.
Yep. He says he'll be right over in a minute.
Okay.
So I guess we're all staring at the door handle.
Yes, once she was asked to ask the moon about the Sabbat.
About the blood?
The Sabbat.
The Sabbat.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think
So,
she's...
you want to hear something interesting? Tariq kind of cuts across you completely, just like in a weird way.
It better be very interesting.
It is. I am trying to make small talk. You see, this is very good, yes? Bitcoin got above 65,000 today.
How are Chantiel's NFTs doing?
Very, very well. We are 22 Hippos is really going at quite the pace, Chantal. I think if you have not seen the latest reports, I would in fact say it is, if anything, it is about how do we get the money out of the crypto assets into fiat currency. But yes, things are progressing very well there.
That is good. I can buy a
Also, I
house.
spoke to my sire, and then he disappears again as he sees the door handle turn.
So Rachel kind of blusters out. Her drugstore eyeliner has smudged a little bit. She's a bit flustered. So she comes out and she goes to Chantel and I'm so sorry. I just needed some time. I'm sorry. So can I meet your friends? I already met you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name actually.
Yeah, hello, I'm Moon. But do you know that vampires cry blood?
You don't. You no longer cry tears. You cry blood.
Okay, so
we're
it
just
is a
kind of like looking
mixture
at...
of eyeliner and a bit of like it's like a bit reddish. I mean, I try my best with the. Do you have toilet paper?
Chantal disappears from the room for a bit, comes back with a cotton pad and some micellar water on it. And
Okay.
starts to wipe your cheeks gently.
Oh, thank you, Chantal.
Are you also like practicing for Halloween or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I like your costume. Is the
Thanks.
costume?
It's Kylie from Street Fighter. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So, your name is.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Moon. This one who just appeared
Oh.
out of nowhere. His name is Tariq.
Oh. Hello. Hi. I'm Rachel.
You just hear a deep sigh from about
So rude.
a foot away from you. That says Miss Moon, you're not supposed to just point out. The whole point of me being this like stealthy, silent person that moves, it entirely breaks the whole premise. And appearing near you is Tariq, who is about 5'9", 5'10" or so, incredibly just like built and athletic, with a face that only a mother could love. And it's not quite that bad, but it's not far off it. Who says, hello, I am Tariq of the Banu Hakim.
Hi, I'm Rachel of the. Let me check again.
Tremere.
Yes, thank you. I forgot how to pronounce it. Tremere. Hi, nice to meet you. Are you Chantel's friends?
We are as blood, it would seem.
Yes, we are friends.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Official term is Coterie.
Oh, another word to remember.
No, there's a lot of new vocabulary.
And speaking of appearing, there is a man who looks to be in his 50s, wearing a vest and a bow tie. You know him, Chantel, to be Albert, who is
Really?
Bruce's.
Did he not knock at the door?
Oh no, there's no door to knock on. There's a small concealed passage that he walks through.
Ooh.
Hey? I thought
Orchard
we were in her apartment.
things.
We are linked. It's
Oh,
right
it's
next door.
Remember? Anyway, there's a small
Mm.
passage. And Albert is there with you.
Tariq will disappear.
And Albert says, Miss Chantel, how can I be of assistance?
I pass him the vial. This is for Mr. Bruce. It's from the Tremere. It's from the thing we fought yesterday.
Oh, last week.
Last week.
Yes.
Yesterday? Last week?
Last week. I bet last week.
What day is it today?
It's Thursday. Every year we have like a gathering every Thursday, just to keep in touch.
And he takes it very carefully. Then he says, "Oh, thank you very much." And it was delivered by. He looks
Rachel.
around.
She's
Hi, hello.
Mike's child.
I see. Could you please give me a moment, Miss Rachel? I will be back for something for you to bring back to your sire. And
Okay.
so Albert disappears.
As Albert disappears, I just kind of explained to Tariq and Chantel where I know Rachel from, and I say she's a very good person, and we have to take care of her now since she took care of my sisters last time. Yeah.
Do you
So
still take
Tariq
care
is just
of
staring
people?
at this passage that allows random ghouls to walk into your house. And it's like, dude, do you just let this? He just appears again. Dude, just let this happen. He just walks into your house. He walks out again. What the hell?
It was his house first.
Isn't it supposed to be your house? Do you know?
Well, not this part. This part is the common area.
Can we go in the uncommon area? Sorry, I just am a bit on edge, perhaps. Of
How
like,
big is the secret haven area actually?
It's about 1,000 square feet.
So it's quite it's substantial lah.
It's as big as a 4-room flat.
Ed, you've gone quiet.
It's as big as a 4-room flat, maybe even a smaller 5-room flat.
Okay. I look at Tariq and like
I suppose.
and then I go, is there like a keypad or something? How do I access the secret haven area?
Here's the fun part. It's biometric.
Ooh, okay.
Okay,
Cool.
it scans 2 things. Okay, so you will walk to a part of the wall. All the walls have this sort of reflective, as part of the design decorations, a reflective metal strip running from floor to ceiling.
Mhm.
On one of the walls, you know that you can put your hand there.
Ooh.
Okay. Then at the same time you do that, you must move your eye over to so they're not very far apart. You must move your left eye over the metallic strip to the left of it. So your right hand on that, your left eye on the other metallic strip.
Okay.
You know that it will scan your eye and your palm. And then what will happen is that the panel in between will turn like this. Okay, it rotates in the middle.
Okay.
And then the only way to get in is to turn your body. Squeeze it. If you were a bit too corpulent, you wouldn't fit.
So it's one person at a time.
Correct.
And I can't really bring people in with me.
You could. It's just that they have to enter and leave one at a time. But you have been told by Georgina very specifically, be careful who you show this to.
Okay.
Okay, because she doesn't say because, but be careful who you show this to. And she assumes that you will understand.
Okay. So I look at Tariq and I'm like visually trying to measure to see if he would fit in the rotating chamber.
Squeeze.
It's a bit hard to go in. I hope you don't mind. The sofa's very nice out here.
Yeah, still got a long time,
Don't
until
want me
they.
to come in, Chantal. It's fine. I don't have to come in.
I apologize, but
That is okay.
I have problems going in sometimes too.
What?
It's complicated.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was trying to introduce y'all to ritual before y'all suddenly got like totally distracted by interior design. So anyway, this is Rachel. Yeah, we met before. She's a nice person. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Moon. You're very nice also. Actually, I have something to ask you.
Oh yeah.
I needed to ask, what do you know
Don't worry.
about-
Ask anything. You're my new sister. Okay.
Oh, thank you. What do you know about the Sabbat in Indonesia?
Wow. Well, that's a big first question. I thought maybe we can start with my favorite color or something, but I guess
Actually, maybe you can answer that first. What's your favorite color?
my favorite color is actually periwinkle.
Wow, that's very specific.
Yeah, but I cannot really wear periwinkle anymore. Because you know, I mean, you know, sometimes you cry blood, you sweat blood, you eat blood, kind of thing. So it's very messy. So nowadays,
Isn't the periwinkle a food?
No.
You can be a lot of things. Like orange is a food, okay? Orange is also a food, and it's also
Miss
color.
Luna, I'm not making fun of you. I'm confused. I thought the periwinkle was a food.
So now you know that orange is a food and it's also color.
No, I agree, but
and periwinkle is a food and it's also color.
And
turquoise is also a food and it's also color.
Suddenly Chantal thrusts out her phone. Periwinkle is a flower.
But you can eat it if you want.
Flower. I thought it was a seafood.
It's like, okay, whatever. Okay, anyway, my friend is called Violet. Now Violet is a food and also color. Okay?
Wait, violet is a food?
To you, violet is a food. You understand?
No, violet is a flower. And the name.
It can be a lot of different things. Okay?
No, I appreciate
violet
that
is
not
very
everything
versatile.
has to be one thing.
No.
I just did not know
it's
that
like I can be Gao from strip butter and I can also be a lot of other people. Okay? Just anyway.
It can be anything you want.
It's true.
And I think with confidence, you can definitely wear periwinkle.
Yeah, I think I must try.
In your hair as flowers? Yes, I think that would look very good, especially with your
So I know, Tariq, your
Randy
social,
Savage.
your social cue is not very strong, but I'm a little bit irritated right now. Okay, so you just give me a bit of a break. So let's think about how to answer this question about the Sabbat. Okay, I am going to call a friend. I'm going to pass this question to Tariq. Tariq, why don't, since you're the security expert, why don't you tell Richard about the Sabbat?
Yes. Why don't we have this conversation in a very public place? I think that's a fantastic idea. Let's have the conversation.
Okay, let's try and squeeze, since you're the security expert, let's try and squeeze into Chantal, the heaven.
Yes, okay? Why don't we squeeze into Chantal's heaven? What?
No. He would not.
She does not want us to come in there. She is said no. So
okay. So should we
our domain?
I can show you. It's very complex.
Okay, so
how complex is it?
Moon, because you're socially cued in, Moon, you can tell that Chantal is reluctant.
But her reluctance seems to be born not so much of not wanting you guys to know where a haven is, as she is literally quite flummoxed by the security system.
Maybe slightly embarrassed even.
Yeah,
that
and
she like...
okay, come. And then she starts to walk off, assuming that the rest of you would follow. And if the rest of you follow, you will see her reach the area where the secure entrance is. And she sighs as she looks at it.
Okay, here's the thing, Chantal.
Yes.
You had this problem and it is repeating.
Yes.
Okay, you keep going to the wrong pillars. And then you put your hand, and then you put your eye, and you're like, it's not this one. You go to the next one, put your hand, put your eye. No, it's not this. Was it on the other
figure this out?
So sometimes it takes you like 10-15 minutes before you find the right one.
I found it.
So you are watching her like go to the walls. And...
But we can't tell the difference because it's Chantal. So like she's just doing her usual distracted thing.
I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Not too polite to say anything.
So eventually she finds the right pillar. She starts to right hand, left eye, left hand, right eye. And then she tries the various combinations of the hand and eye. Right eye, right hand.
Is it your hand-eye coordination not very good?
Yeah. And then eventually she gets it right. Then the thing rotates. Like, I did it.
Okay, so what you hear, and this is especially for Tariq, okay? That you know from this, you hear a soft click and a hiss, which indicates to you that it's hermetically sealed. Okay? So, Tariq, you see the wall panel, open just a touch. And Chantel places her hand on it and pushes it until it turns like this. And there's a gap. And even for Chantel, who's quite svelte, she has to go in sideways. Okay. After that, Chantel, is another door. And that door, okay, is activated specifically by a number pad. Okay, so that one is much easier. The number pad is very obvious.
Okay.
So the area you're in right now is about, I would say about 2 meters long. It's a very small corridor, which is surrounded by very solid padded rubber walls. Okay, the rubber does 2 things. One, you've been told that it keeps out the sound. The second, more importantly, is that it stops bullets.
Ooh, fancy.
Okay, that corridor. So you have 2 lines of defense. And the second door, you've been told is fire rated for 6 hours and will stop anything short of a something used to cut through bank vault doors.
God damn.
Something is to cut off what?
Cut through bank vault doors.
Wow, this
I
minor
see.
boon is very worth it, man. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay. So yeah. So you enter your code and then you have access to your
Moon
haven.
is outside the first door because she cannot come in.
Okay, then from the inside, I can open the door, lah, I guess. So I'll open it and wait for the next person to come in.
Rachel can go in. Tariq can try to go in. Moon cannot come in. Moon is kind of like looking at you expectantly.
Then I realized, oh, right. So I text Moon,
So cute.
Moon, you're welcome to come in. Because
Oh.
it's soundproof, right? I assume, so I can't shout out to her.
It's sound resistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I come in. Now we are at the next door.
So you might
Not
have been
walk through any doors without being invited through them.
I don't know. Is this considered one a boat? I don't know what. I'm just being careful.
fair.
I don't want to be in pain.
Okay.
So Chantel, you can describe the inside of your
Yeah.
haven.
So the outside, the open area, so to speak, is very similar to what Georgina has. Like, it's basically similar furnishings, except like downscale a little bit. So it's like the more budget younger sister kind of look.
Wow. A lot of pink. Is there a lot of pink?
No, not quite. It's very classy. So basically, what Chantel did was she went to find one of Georgina's ghouls and asked her like, oh, where should I shop and stuff like that, lah. And then based off what she's seen in Georgina's area, she basically kind of not quite copy paste, but similar, lah. So it's not to offend Georgina's sensibilities, but at the same time, not so classy, not so pricey, so that she doesn't upstage her.
Right.
Inside here, however, in Chantel's own place, the pieces are very comfy, very, what you might consider to be more cottage core kind of feel. It's all very comforting pieces. It's like there's a nice big king size bed, even though she doesn't really need a king size bed, for example. There's a nice sofa. She clearly has set up the space such that she can have guests over, and she intends for it to happen, except it's tricky because, furnishing this space is not easy lah. So, yes.
Okay. Okay.
How
Right,
did
so
she get all the
Chantel-
furniture in there?
I have no
Sorry.
idea.
Like a king size bed.
So your interior designer disassembled the furniture
Ah.
and reassembled it inside.
Very
Okay.
exciting. Yes.
Yeah, so everything was built inside at record speed. So anyway, Chantel, after you close the outside door and the inside door, you know that you are secure.
Okay.
So, Tariq, come, why don't you use up your quota of words for the day by telling Richard about the Sabbat?
You don't hear anything.
Okay, is Tariq here? Do I need to throw my loose powder around the room to see whether it disappears?
Go ahead, try.
I don't want because this is my friend's house.
a few moments pass, and then you just hear a chuckle because I'm making another joke. You like this? This is very good. I am getting better at these jokes. Yes. Oh, we laugh. How we laugh. And so Tariq appears and says, "This place is very expensive."
That's good. That's very good small talk.
Very tasteful.
Yeah, it looks like a very classy spa.
Can post online and hashtag cottage core, but I
Cannot post
I
online.
won't post. But if you wanted, it fit the cottage core theme. Very popular now.
Yes, I played Animal Crossing a bit.
Can see.
Oh my god, Moon Moon is like, wow, it's like, last time I used to be 大姐, Really, sometimes the Xiaomei is really like that, one of like 15, 16-year-old. It's like, oh, that talk like that.
I look young, but actually I'm
No, you don't look that young actually, but I mean you talk quite.
Okay.
But never mind, it's okay. I know you're a good person. So anyway, Tariq, you want to tell her about the Sabbats?
Sabbats.
But whose butts? What?
The Sabbats. The Sabbats. The Sabbats. I'm trying to enunciate the Sabbat.
Okay. So I think you're referring to the Sabbat.
That's what I say. It's the Sabbat.
Sabbat. Okay. So yes, are you aware of the Sabbat, Miss Rachel?
Not really. That's why I'm asking today. Yeah.
In one
I
corner,
see.
there's an easel, and you do see some like half-finished sketches and paintings around the room. So Chantal goes up to one, pulls out a new piece of paper, and starts to kind of draw like a sort of mind map situation. So there are 3 sects: Camarilla, Annex, Sabbat. And then after that, under each one, she kind of sketches like a cartoon anime type face.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. So for the Camarilla, you see like a relatively neutral look. The Annex are like slightly angry, and then the Sabbat one just looks like a demon type person.
Miss Chantal, I discovered something quite remarkable.
Hmm?
And then I sort of look around the room once more and just say, there's nothing else in here, right?
No.
Okay. And I say, apparently Al, the seneschal, used to be of none of these sects. He was what they refer to as otakis. I do not know if that is. I think it is it's like the worst kept secret. He is certainly an elder of some sort.
Then after that, she draws another circle. Otakis. How do I spell?
O, no,
OTH.
Otakus.
It's AUTAR.
No, Otakus is what Tariq is saying.
Sure. Sure.
Hey, Tariq, at this point, you realized that Samira completely glossed over the question you asked for what clan he belongs to.
So yeah, okay. Yeah, but then
No, it is interesting. Small talk, yes?
okay, so Rachel, do you have whatever you need to know?
No, you cannot share that, Miss Rachel. That is not for discussions.
Is that all?
No, there's more. And then after
They came
that, she
from
starts to-
Indonesia.
Yeah. So she draws
yeah.
Indonesia for the Sabbat, then Camarilla is like most of Singapore, and then Annex are like Changi, right?
Changi and Ubin. That's what
Changi
they
and
told
Ubin.
you.
And then Otakis, there's the question mark, and then there's a silhouette of a face with a question mark in the middle as well.
Yeah, so cute.
Yeah. So I guess you asked quite a big question, but yeah, so like that lah. It's like that. It's a bit complicated.
What did they want you to find out exactly?
And
So, Lisa, all you were told by your primogen was
it's just to find out.
find out from Moon about the Sabbat in Indonesia. That was your instruction.
Oh, okay. Rachel looks to Moon. Can you tell me anything else about the Sabbat in Indonesia?
No, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yes. Suddenly, Chantel pulls out another sketch that she had, and it looks like the creature that we fought last week. And it's like this monstrous looking alien type creature with like sharp fangs and claws, and doesn't look human. It looks almost reptilian in a way.
This is one of them.
Oh,
Hua says he probably is Rico's child.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Oh wow. Have you all seen one in real life?
Yes, last week.
Yeah. So you must be very careful, okay? Because it looks like there are some around here. We're not friends lah. Okay? Just to put it quite mildly lah.
The blood you gave me was his blood.
Oh. Well, how was it like meeting this monster?
As you say, I'm like, okay, Richard. Okay, now I know you used to take care of a lot of people last time, but I think the less we talk about this, the better. Okay, you shouldn't go and find out things like that. Okay, like now you are the xiaomei. Okay, we're going to take care of you. So you go and tell your sire that okay, you found out everything already, and you don't want to know anymore. Okay, okay, all right. So come on. What should we go and do? We can go and feed that tonight. I'm very hungry. You know, very hungry.
Rachel, you were told by your sire and by your primogen that you could bring them back to Biopolis, not to the Haven. You know that there's an area where they receive vampiric guests. So they receive kindred in this sort of lounge area. It's separate from the Haven. It's actually on the ground level. Okay. And you were told by them that you're free to bring them back if you feel that that will be helpful.
Okay. Okay. Actually, if we are done here, thank you, Chantel, for the presentation and the drawings. I think you're very artistic and for showing us your nice place. Maybe we can, since you've welcomed me so well, maybe I can welcome you to a place that I'm familiar with. I can bring you to where what do I call? How would I describe that place?
Biopolis. Okay, you have also been told that technically this is your chantry. You're still not clear about what really a chantry is, other than the fact that it just means, Rachel, that this is where Tremere gather. But considering there are 3 Tremere in Singapore, you, Mike, and Professor Ronnie, doesn't feel like much. But that's the Tremere chantry.
Sorry, what is chantry again?
Chantry is Tremere gathering place, as far as you understand.
Okay, so if I told everyone I want to invite them to the chantry,
don't know. You assume that that's something they will understand also.
Okay. I would like to invite you to the Tremere chantry.
It's pronounced country. It's pronounced country, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to the countryside. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to invite you there to thank you for welcoming me as a friend so nicely, and also to meet. Yeah.
So the Tremere country is where, Malaysia?
No, Biopolis. It's a very nice space also.
She said chantry.
Oh, the chantry, yes. That is where that's most right. I would
yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I must learn to enunciate also.
No, I think that was fine. I just it was
yeah.
It was contextual. That would be very interesting. Yeah. I would appreciate discussion. Are you a thaumaturge?
Rachel, that term has been told to you by Mike to be a fancy term for what you all do. Because you can do magic. So Mike has taught you magic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's the term again? Sorry.
the magic that Mike has taught
Thaumaturge.
you has been very much around. It's very basic so far. All you know how to do it because you're level 1, right? For your blood
Yeah.
sorcery.
I think so.
So Taste for Blood, he's taught you this magical ability whereby you're able to taste blood and find out from the blood who it belongs to.
Oh, okay.
So that's, he says this is the very lowest, very bare minimum lowest level of your ability, but if you want to, he can teach you more, but it will take time.
Okay.
But you've discovered that you have a gift for words. That's why you're so good with dominate.
Ah. Okay.
You can make people follow your orders. It's kind of like if you watch Dune, you know, your voice.
Okay. Sorry, Tariq, what do you say again?
Are you
So
a
it says,
thaumaturge?
are you a thaumaturge? Do you practice the blood magic of Tremere?
Yes, but I'm still learning, but yeah, so beginner level, but I am practicing it.
Fascinating. I am very early in the journey of a similar parallel track.
Oh, that's
if you will.
cool.
Chantel and I are very charming.
Yes, incredibly so, as you can see.
Yes.
Janelle, meanwhile, is like her back is turned to the group and she's sketching on the little mind map that she drew. And when she turns around, you see there are 4 figures, the anime versions of the
Oh.
Q-pan version of the 4 of us holding hands. Tariq frown on his face. Moon has like, and then it's all got the gyly hair.
Miss Chantal, you would not be able to see me though.
I know what you look like.
This is true. You would be able to see me.
And we are
That's
not
the very
holding
good point.
hands. We're not holding hands, okay? This is called artistic lessons.
Shall we go to Biopolis?
Come on, let's go.
Before we do, and I'll take Ed. I don't know if you're okay with this or not. We'll see. But I'll say to Chantal, I'm going to go out to the pillar where she should have stood been, and I'm going to use like a tiny bit of blood and a tiny bit of like of a ward. Not actually meaning to do a full ward, but the one ward I have is like wake with evening freshness, so it's not really setting that up. I'm just going to mark a tiny bit of ward on the pillar, so with her or specs see the unseen, she gets it's this pillar without it being at all noticeable.
I'm totally fine with that. Okay,
So
but do you tell Shell? Do you tell?
Yeah, of course I'll
Chantal?
tell that. Yeah.
Do I see
I
it?
mean, don't do anything. I will happily come and do other things. But at least now, if you look, you can see it's the one with the sign.
Ah. Yay.
Maybe that will save you an hour or two. Now, admittedly, other people might see that too, but even so, they'll still need to know all the other things.
Do I know if Bruce is Ventru as well?
Yes, he's
And-
so Ventru.
Okay, Georgina and Bruce are both Ventru, right? Have they exhibited any signs of what's that called?
You don't know.
Auspex?
You can't tell.
Okay, Tariq.
No, Tariq knows.
Okay,
And
Tariq.
so-
I got it,
Sorry.
okay? So you made a symbol on this pillar, right? But the thing is that what if you made symbol on all the other pillar, but you made them different? So only Chantal knows what symbol is correct.
But then she would have to remember which symbol.
But I think she can remember.
No,
Okay.
she's very, very smart. I'm more just concerned that it is more about getting the motor running than the speed the motor runs. Is that appropriate, Ms. Chantal?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay if I don't think they'll know.
Okay lah. Okay, come, let's go.
We have to open the door again.
And after the rigmarole of opening the door, it's much easier from the inside. Go out. Tariq marks the particular pillar for you. Okay. You look at it, Chantal, and you're like, oh, it's right there. Okay. There's a little symbol. What does the symbol look like, Tariq?
It's going to be very, very low. It's going to be around the back. So simply in her auspex, the pillar will ever so slightly glow, like at the bottom, right?
Okay.
The symbol itself is actually just going to be a tiniest spear of blood. That's it.
That's perfectly fine. So, all 4 of you bundle up.
At this moment, I'm like, Just now the Albert said he want to come back and talk to you. Can I come back?
Yes.
You want me to shout very loudly?
That's all right, because on the table outside in the living room, there's now obviously a box that's wrapped up with a ribbon. And then there's a card on it that obviously says to it, for Professor Susanto. And so Albert must have returned while you were inside.
Wow.
Okay. So I assume that Chantal, you picked that up and handed to Rachel?
Yep.
It's like Lazada. So
Yeah, it's a pretty
convenient.
secure place. So you're bundled into Tariq's car, you head over. So Rachel, you guide them over to Biopolis and take them to the Chantry welcome area, which really is, it looks like a lounge, an office lounge on the first level.
Are there still the frogs in Tariq's car?
Oh, please no, please no.
Tariq, are there still frogs in there?
Please no. Thank you.
Albert's gone.
There was meant to be something, and I will look in my notes. I was going to do something, and if I remember, and I wrote it down. Otherwise, don't worry about it.
Yeah. When you entered Chantal's room, you would have seen Herbert the frog on her bedside table,
Oh,
holding on to a little plush hut.
no. Poor thing.
That's lovely. Okay, Rachel. So what you do on the way back is that you've texted Mike to let him know that you're coming back to the Chantry's reception area. Okay, and when you arrive, you park and you walk in. You're met by two people, Mike and the Tremere Primogen. And it is the Tremere Primogen who speaks. Hello, welcome. I am Professor Susanto. You can call me Ronnie, but Professor Susanto is fine. Oh, Professor Ron. Oh, Professor. People call me different things. So I'm here because, very importantly, I need to find out from all of you what you know about the going-ons. You can talk inside here. It is safe. So last week, you personally, I understand that he points. Is Tariq visible?
Tariq is visible at this point, yeah.
Okay, he points at you, Tariq. I understand that you were in close contact with this creature.
There were a few the week before when we were presented the Elysium, and the week following there was one in the park. But
So we are not interested in the Team Bloods. We are interested in the big one, the monster that you fought last week. So this is
the
one
reason
that
I
is-
mentioned this, but I don't interrupt him. I don't interrupt.
So this is the one that we are interested in, because if we are able to find out what his bloodline is, maybe there is a way that we can track him, perhaps through a sort of ritual through his blood. Are you following? There is.
Yes.
Okay, good. So he barely stops for you to acknowledge. He's very caught up in what he's saying, and he's ignoring the ladies actually. And he's talking to you, Tariq. So,
I'm dressed as Gal from Street Fighter. Does that make things any different?
no, he's just completely focused on talking about the work. So
Tariq is very excited as well, and he goes, it's interesting because I was looking through my notes, and there is a way of doing this, of course, but I thought that it was it was relatively straightforward to determine who someone was. I did not know you could then determine where they were.
So it is a process of triangulation. So just as you are able to contact your sire, if we are able to then simulate the blood and then get the blood to be in a way that is connected to ours. So perhaps we are still experimenting. Perhaps if we, then he goes into this long 10-minute explanation about the theories between and the experiments that he's doing that might be able to help you triangulate the location of a vampire based on a sample of their blood. And when he finishes, he's like, yeah, so it's actually very important work. Oh, you have something for me. He points at Rachel.
Yes, Rachel, I believe you came back with the package that was on Chantal's table.
Yes.
And
I
as as I sort of nudge Rachel, like I'm like, while Professor Susanto was talking, I also asked her, this one is your sire, is it?
Your sire.
And as she says that, I kind of like, because I've noticed his Indonesian accent, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna give you the package.
Conversely,
yeah.
Tariq is totally into this conversation, right? And he's at the point where he's just asking questions. It's like he's just nerding out to the nth degree. And he's like, oh, so, but how do you stabilize and blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
it's very important. You must find the correct thaumaturgical focus. And because we are here, it is much more useful to look for the ones that are more specific to the culture rather than the ones that they use in the West.
Professor Susanto.
Yes.
Hi. So sorry, I just want to introduce ourselves. As you already know, my name is Moon. This is my friend, Chantel.
Yes, I saw you at Elysium. No need to introduce. I
yeah. But you didn't introduce yourself. So I guess I just wanted to find out a bit about you. Since we didn't actually form a bit. So so I know this. When did you come over from Indonesia? Because Susanto is an Indonesian surname, yes.
So at this point, if you all notice, Mike has been standing politely a couple of paces away from Professor Ronnie, and he's just got this like a very polite smile plastered on his face.
What does he look like?
What does he look like, Lisa?
Oh, Mike. Like Mike in Friends.
Nobody knows. Sorry.
And Ant-Man. He looks like Paul Rudd.
Oh, like Paul Rudd.
Wow.
Why didn't you say so earlier?
Like Angmo Paul Rudd or like...
Sure.
Or Asian Paul Rudd? Like, is he Mike Tan or Mike Smith?
Oh, like
no,
of course, I introduced him as Mike Wong, but
yeah. Okay, so he's a Wong Paul Rudd.
Okay.
Chantal was like, ooh.
No, second, like double take.
Yeah. I mean, very, very fitting, Paul Rudd doesn't age.
We are completely distracted by Paul Rudd, completely ignoring Professor Susanto.
Yeah, who's nerding out with... and it's at this point that Mike politely leans over and says, Professor, you have to... also, I think it would be useful for you to be telling them about the reason why you've asked Rachel to bring them back. Oh yes, very important. So I'm working on this thing so that we can find them. And we need somebody to deliver. What we need to do is to bring this over to closer to Batam. So somebody on a boat has to go over there. So I don't recommend you all do it. What I need is maybe Bruce or maybe in points at Tariq, maybe one of Tua's men can go and do it. And then we see whether we can get a signal. It's sort of like a tracking device. You know what I mean? But it's using the Chinese geomancer board. Okay. And you have a question for me, Miss Moon.
Yeah, I switch on my persuasion to maximum. I'm like, yeah, I just think since we didn't manage to encounter each other, back there during Elysium, I would love to find out more about you. You're such a celebrated scientist.
I've been here since 1960s. I was invited over by Dr. Coterie.
Oh, wow.
When Singapore was independent. Then he asked for Indonesian scientists. So I come over because that time, things not so good for me in Jakarta. So I came to Singapore. So I've been here since. I've been a vampire for, I think, about 20, 30 years now. So,
oh, wow.
Very good.
You came in 1963, did you say?
67.
67. Oh. I don't know how my history is. I can tell you my history stats. It's really not good. But
Singapore was independent in 65.
I do know Singapore was independent in 65. I remember that Konfrontasi was in 63. So I don't know what stats you want me to roll for this or if anything.
It's okay, you can know if you've got dots in history. Do you have dots in history?
Where is history?
Under the right side.
Under the right side.
There is no history. Is there politics?
There's academics.
politics.
Academics is usually the one that's in all politics.
Okay,
No.
so I mean, if you Google it, Moon, you would.
I don't, but does anybody have dots in history or, I mean, sorry, in
I have a dot in academics and a dot in occult. I
I
don't know
have
if that
one
means
dot
anything.
in academics. That's about it.
So, yeah, if Moon does ask, you would be able to answer.
I mean, as in you would know that it was awfully close to Konfrontasi, which is the attacks in Singapore by terrorists during that time. I mean, but he's, yeah, I mean, so I don't know what his connection is because, yeah. So,
But he did say that he was invited over by Go King Sui.
oh, okay, it was in 65. But okay lah. I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he says he was invited by Ko King Sui. I mean, should I roll my insight? It's 3.
Sure, you can. Wits plus insight.
Okay. Do I have to roll my
Hunger,
my-
yes. Unfortunately, for this one, yes, you do.
Wow. Look at that. Again,
Oh, wow.
this is like the 5th time, I rolled.
So I have a house rule. Joe keeps rolling this. If you roll a 1 on your hunger dice, normally you can't re-roll it, but I allow you to re-roll only your hunger dice with 2 willpower once.
I still fail. Basically, every time I roll in this game, I have not succeeded once. I've
Really?
I've only rolled 1 pass.
Oh
Do you
no.
have 1 success?
Yeah, 1 success.
Okay, what were you trying to find out?
Just trying to see whether he's lying about Go King Sui having invited him over.
You don't think so?
I mean, according, yeah. Okay. Yeah, then I'm like, oh, nice, Go King Sui. Wow, nice. Yeah. Okay.
So the reason I have you all over is that I actually have need, because there are so few of us, I actually have need for you all to find out things for me, if you don't mind. So I cannot offer you boons because otherwise I'll be offering everybody boons, but I can offer you some help. So it's not formal. So hopefully you all will understand this. That there's only 3 from here. There's not much that we can do, and one of us is very young. Rachel is just joining us. So, but what I do need some help with is actually I'm in need of a particular item of powerful magic, for lack of a better term, but actually it's because it's thaumaturgical. It's like a thaumaturgical beacon which can focus and and Mike is like, Professor, just tell them about the item in layman terms. Oh yes, I need you to find me an item somewhere in Makurichi. It is a place called the Shonan Jinja. It is where the Japanese used to have a very big shrine during World War II. Then after they left, they destroyed it. But buried underneath it, somewhere, is a very powerful item. I found this out from my research, but I have no time to go there and dig. So if you all can find it for me, I will be very grateful. But no rush. You can do it next time. Is what we call a long-term project. And if you can do this for me, I will be very grateful. I'm sorry that I cannot offer you boons, but I can offer you the help of my newest member. He points at Richard. And so she can assist you in this. Think of it as an archaeological expedition. So I'm.
There's nothing in it for us.
Okay.
If you're not offering boons, there's nothing in it for us.
Okay, touch what? Touch what? Dr. Susanto. So, it's like I still haven't eaten yet. I hear y'all got like essentially like GMO food over here. It's possible to try?
Oh, I don't know whether you'll be so excited about it because sometimes the taste is funny to those of you who are not from here. But if you're okay, I can offer you our herd.
Oh, you have heard that?
It is our private.
I thought it's like test tube.
Oh, you want from the bags?
Oh
Okay.
no, I don't know. You
want from the bags? Okay.
I
we
look
have
at I look at Chantel and Tariq. I'm like, I haven't had used packet drink for a long time.
that.
So like this will be a little similar.
Then he says to Mike, Mike, can you bring us the ones from batch 24?
And then also privately, while they are like, she's talking, I'm just looking at Chantel, and I don't know whether Tariq can hear, but I just presume Tariq can hear. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know whether to trust him, but I think we need to protect Richard, so I want to stay on his good side. So if you are free this evening, might as well we go to this Pokemon spot that's in where is it again? Sentosa, is it? This Shonen Jinja is last time I used to go there and catch Pokemon, so I go before. Marichi, yeah. No wonder I didn't catch any. But anyway, it's maybe we go just to make sure that Richard is okay.
If they will pay us, I can do it. But we must
There are many
be
ways
paid.
of being paid, Miss Chantal. I think
Yes,
there are.
blood is okay.
That is okay, but also I think even if it is not a boon, there are not many Tremere here, but they have, a long history of blood sorcery themselves, so that might come in useful. And I
Chantal turns around, looks at Tariq with suddenly alarming focus.
I must be paid.
Yeah,
And then she starts to float away again.
Okay. Maybe I agree.
So Tariq just looks at the elder and says, "Elder, could you please offer us a token amount of payment?
Blood.
Oh, okay. Are you
The
talking
blood
about?
that you're about to serve us, for example."
Okay, so this is Rachel, you know this to be batch 24 was harvested from a group of humans who had been test fed with specifically, all right, they had been fed very healthy food and drinks, super duper healthy. It's like kale shakes. You've tasted it yourself. Okay.
Like, did he get these people from like a yoga studio?
You're not sure, but
So I don't know where it came from. I just know
you
what
know his
kind.
herd. You've seen his herd. There's about 6 to 7 humans, and he's constantly feeding them in different ways. Okay, and so he brings out 6 packets of blood. Okay, and then he says, "Oh, please," he holds one up. "Please have a sample."
Oh, thanks. I will have one to go, but I will try this one here.
Okay, you notice that the bags very obviously have something like a straw. It's ostensibly something you connect to an IV line, but it's really a straw for vampires. You just open it, you twist the cap, and then it's open. It's like, those sports drinks.
Yeah.
So it comes in a bag, but then you pick it up and you're like, and then you can drink it.
Like the Ribena pack.
A bit like that.
Tariq looks at Chantal and says, "Miss Chantal is a suitable payment for the activities."
Yes.
Okay, come don't you want to have a drink or you want to stay for a run today? Chantal, you're speaking even softer than usual.
I just need to be paid.
Okay,
So
give chew.
that.
Okay, you take.
It's like you have a sense that Chantal's not particular about what kind of payment, but she feels that it is it is a matter of principle that if you ask her to do something, it's fine, but you need to pay her for it.
Okay.
Like it could be anything. You could give her like a pocky stick, for example, and she'll be like, okay.
Do you all taste the blood?
I taste it.
Just not.
I've had it before, I assume.
You have, Rachel. You
Okay.
You were part of the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do.
Who drinks from it? Mumun does?
I drink. I just have a sip because to be polite, because I don't wanna. I've got one level of hunger, so I'm not.
Okay. Chantal,
Hungry?
do you sip from it?
I do not, but I do want to know something because I do have the what's it called? The thing where I can see weird shit, right?
See the unseen? Sense the unseen?
Yes, that's right. Sense the unseen. So is the chantry setting off all kinds of excitement in my vision right now?
No. But you can feel that there is magic here.
Okay.
There's not excitement, but it's very dull sort of background magic.
And it's a lot of magic, or?
Fair amount, not a lot.
Okay. So this, based on that, it feels like this would be like a more like a open common meeting area and not the warded zones of the chantry, so to speak.
You would expect that from what Rachel has described it as, just the chantry reception or meeting area, that this is the public part.
Mm.
You don't know how large the chantry is, and you're pretty sure that the haven isn't here. Rachel knows.
Okay.
Okay, Rachel, you know that the haven is deep underground. And there are at least 3 different ways to access it.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's only known to you, Rachel.
I know it's a secret, right?
Yes, you've been told. You really
Just
can't tell
checking.
anyone about this.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
because-
okay.
This is one of the things that Sire drilled into her head like 5 times. I should remember.
50 more like.
Okay.
Moon, you drink it,
Yep.
it really tastes. I mean, you taste blood, and it's quite pleasurable most of the time.
Okay.
This one tastes damn healthy, yeah. There's none of the, the sin that normally comes with the. Yeah, you drink blood, it feels like drinking a milkshake. There's this like woo buzz, right? This one is like, oh,
Nice. No, like
very healthy.
no, well, good. Yum.
You can taste the humans who didn't quite enjoy the drink either, what they were being fed.
Yeah. Wow. So different.
Yeah, healthy, yeah. It's something that we've been working on for a long time, and because we heard from a lot of vampires that they're saying that that some of these things are very negative, or negative thoughts, this feeling of gelatinous, because
Yeah.
sometimes that the
Yeah.
that there is too much. So this is what we call detox blood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if you want
yeah.
to go on a detox, you can drink. So this is batch 24, and
Oh.
if you are liking it, then maybe we can produce more.
Yeah. Nice.
Seeing the exchange, right? Chantal is curious, so she goes to try some of it.
He sort of perks up and instead says,
And the face is
do
like,
you have performance enhancing, intellect enhancing, or otherwise?
Right now we are wondering about that's an interesting question. But if it was possible, we have not been able to discover it yet, because we do not have any sort of chemical stimulants that can stimulate the brain in a way that is positive to intellectual.
Oh wow! Look at the time. Wow.
For example, Ritalin or otherwise, those focus-oriented things, do they affect kindred the same? And like Tariq will then just start veering off in a conversation again.
"Can
Okay,
we
the
have
rest of you-
another batch?"
The rest of you kena for 15 minutes while you're just like sit while they're talking. They're
Yeah.
talking shop.
I turn
Okay.
to Asian Paul Rudd and ask him,
Is there a less healthy batch?
Mike is like, yes, there is. Shall I bring you a sample?
Mm.
I thrust the pack back at him like a child who doesn't want to eat.
So he takes out. This is batch 22. He takes out. It's a bit more intense. They were had a diet of fried chicken.
What?
It's Hans' blood.
So it's a bit like the opposite of what you've had. Maybe a bit intense. I don't know. It's up to you to try.
How does it taste?
Tastes like your arteries are being coated. But your heart doesn't beat anymore. But you can feel your heart like. It's an interesting feeling. It's interesting what the Tremere are doing here, because they're allowing you to feel human things while drinking blood.
Maybe a mix of two.
Well, if you want to mix, that's fine, but we try to keep things a bit more, a bit more purist here.
Like 3 of each.
Oh, okay.
But by the way, hi, you must be Mike.
Yes, hi. Hello,
Hi.
and you must be Miss Moon.
I am Miss Moon.
I've heard so much about you.
I heard quite a lot about you also.
Yes.
I heard you used to be a social worker.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I have an interest in justice.
Wow. So, every time last time I would go and get justice for my Jamis. So I guess we're quite similar in a lot of ways.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. I would love to be able to continue this conversation a little bit further. And I think it's good to forge a good relationship between the different clients. I was wondering, perhaps, could I maybe get your phone number?
Oh, of course. Here's my card. He takes out
Wow,
a card and hands it to you.
it's a nice card.
It says Mike Wong, PhD.
Oh, it's so smart. Wow.
Molecular biology. It's nothing special.
But it's molecular, less molecular. I'm sure you're very smart. But anyway, I also have a card, and I give you my cards on my social media handles. Yeah, you can IG message me. Feel free to DM anytime. I don't usually respond, but if you message me, I'll respond.
Sure.
Yeah.
Winning smile.
So Tariq is speaking back to the professor and goes, and so if you wish, I can get one of the ghouls in the security company to take the thing halfway to Batam on a boat. We can send a small group of
That's
people.
the thing
there.
I'm worried about is that I've heard from Tua that one of his men was intercepted when he was trying previously. So if that is the case, whoever is bringing it, there should be sufficient security in case they are intercepted or attacked. Because I don't want to lose this item.
Yeah,
We
you're
could send a
interrupted
full
by a
squad
loud
and
peal
do
of
it during the day if we wish.
Oh, okay. If you are going through during the day, that's actually a good idea. But I don't know whether this is working because it's vampiric blood. So the vitae, I'm not sure it will function when there is sunlight. Whether or not it is in direct sunlight, even if it's below deck, I'm worried about these things.
That's a good point. I see the concern.
Well, what is your Instagram handle?
Oh,
These two conversations are taking place at the same time. Yeah, which is
Mike
hard.
is telling you that he stays off the internet. It's very clear that it's dangerous to be on the internet.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, oh wow. And then so on the other side for Tariq, it becomes very clear to you that Professor Susanto is not confident of sending out a mission yet. But he thinks that perhaps if you can work together, so downtime, we may be able to work out a plan.
Tariq will offer to exchange numbers with both him and Magic Mike, and we'll talk about beginning to figure something out together of how they can both understand whether or not the daytime thing will work, but then also like what would need to happen and where it would need to go to kind of start working out a plan. So downtime,
So it ends that conversation by them asking you if you wouldn't mind terribly if you would bring Rachel along in a week's time to go and investigate this, because they understand that you're busy. So perhaps you can go next week. There's no hurry for this. It's just that it's a particular thing that will be useful to them for their long-term development of creating a better lab, as it were. Okay, so they've given you a quest, essentially, a request to locate a magical item for them in Shonan Jinja. And even though the payment seems rather paltry, it seems that the level of danger is low. It's just that he has no time to do it. And he says, take a week to do it. So he's like, do it next Thursday. It's fine. Okay. And
I'm amenable to this.
All right. So we're about to wrap up the session. Is there anything else that the four of you want to do before we do?
Okay, I give you my burner phone number.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I also go, Rachel, actually, if you have time, let's we go for a bit of a drink now over this healthy drink. Maybe tomorrow or day after. Will you be free? I get Rachel's number as well.
Okay. Chantel, you're given a igloo with the 6 packs of blood that you requested. 3 crispy, 3 original. Okay.
3 salad, 3 fried chicken.
Yes, that's right. You're given an igloo with it by Magic Mike. Okay.
I hold on to the igloo with a slightly smug look on my face, like, yes, I have bargained well, sort of thing. But it's like very mild, so it's like...
And that's where, on that smile on Chantel's face, is where the scene ends as we end today's session. And I'd like to say thank you to all the players. Big round of applause to all of you. Once again, it's Ramji playing Tariq, Sheena Chan playing Chantel, Joe Tang playing Moon Moon, and Lisa Yo playing Rachel. And thank you to our viewers for joining us. This was Singapore by Night. Next week, they're going to be taking on an excursion to Shonan Jinja, the hidden Japanese shrine in Magrishi Reservoir. What will they find? Well, you're going to have to join us next Thursday at 7 p.m. Singapore time. But don't miss our normal campaign as Survey Team 3, after fresh from their victory of rescuing Yes's father, they have to decide what they're going to do with the rest of Earth as we continue our homebrew D&D campaign run by Ramji. And that's happening 7 p.m. on Monday, 7 p.m. Singapore time. In the meantime, please do join us on our Discord and come and chat with us, come and talk with us, and also find our Singapore by Night channel, because that's where all the downtime for this game happens. And in the meantime, Ramji, where are we headed off to?
We're going to go and raid Casey in just a minute. I'll play us out with our intro song as always, so do stick around for the raid. If you are watching this on YouTube, or even if you're not watching on YouTube and you're on Twitch, take a moment, pop over onto our YouTube, hit follow and like and subscribe and send us messages and wonderful things. Do join our Discord. We'll see you at 7 o'clock on Monday.